Howdy. It's literally in the middle of the night, and obviously, I'm doing a video. It might be getting part of my Hexalogy, Finnish copper. I call it a Hexalogy because there are 6 videos. If there would be 3, it would be a trilogy, but now it's a Hexalogy. And let's see how far it will expand, how much time I have to expand this and stuff. But anyway, Finnish copper, a small video series about the origin of copper in Finland and its association with sulfur. The video series is an interdisciplinary attempt to explain some things and how everything is interconnected. There are still many unanswered questions, and I think it's only a matter of time when we get answers on those. Obviously, there's many different things, like I said, interdisciplinary. And we have dragons, we have coat of arms, we have the plasma rock site here on the left, we can see. That's from the plasma rock site, and the one on the left is the Richard structure in Mauritania. We have volcanic plasma phenomena, we have microwave stones, and all kinds of things. And I have no idea how to order them, if like there would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because they are not in order, but I have no idea how to do that. But you can read the numbers, you can check it out. I recommend you to watch the first video first. So now let's go into the thing I have been trying to read for some time now, or several days since I stumbled across that. But there's so many other things going on, so I just basically share now some few things I stumbled across on the page universaltheosophy.com. Kalevala. The Kalevala. The Epic Poem of Finland. Book translation by John Martin Crawford, 1888. Reviews The National Epic of Finland by H.P. Blavatsky. And The Kalevala by Anon. It's a rather long text. Contents, preface, poem, birth of Wainamoinen, Wainamoinen's sowing, Wainamoinen and Joukahainen, the fate of Aino. Origin of iron, death of Lemminkainen, the rival suitors, the bridge's farewell. There is like all kinds of very interesting things. And let me show you a few I have been watching on now several times. So now I have been scrolling around for some time, and I think I have a screenshot of the thing I actually wanted to show you. I couldn't find it now, but I found something another thing which relates to the same what I was going to show you. I just found this now. So, perhaps it should be stated here that the copper, so often mentioned in the Kalevala, when taken literally, was probably bronze or hardened copper, the amount and quality of the alloy used being not now known. The prehistoric races of Europe were acquainted with bronze implements. Copper. I actually found it. So, just a very short recap for those who haven't seen the Hexalogy. Copper, the name originates from Cyprus, which has been called cuprum. And over time, the word cuprum turned into the word copper. And it also turned out that the copper ore on Cyprus is very similar to the copper ore here in Finland, in Outokumpu, which is about, 15 kilometers away from here? And a little bit farther away, there are those plasma rocks at Kuhasalo. And at the same site, so to say, there has been a monastery which got abandoned, it got burned down, and they left. So there was a holy place, and there also is an old abandoned copper mine. So now let's just read what's written here. In the following runes, Ukko here and there interposes. Ukko is a god. Thus, when the sun and moon were stolen from the heavens and hidden away in a cave of the copper-bearing mountain by the wicked hostess of the dismal Sariola, he, like Atlas in the mythology of Greece, relinquishes the support of the heavens, thunders along the borders of the darkened clouds, and strikes fire from his sword to kindle a new sun and a new moon. Again, when Lemminkainen is hunting the fire-breathing horse of Piru, Ukko, invoked by the reckless hero, checks the speed of the mighty cursor by opening the windows of heaven and showering upon him flakes of snow, balls of ice, and hailstones of iron. Usually, however, Ukko prefers to encourage a spirit of independence among his worshippers. Often we find him in the runes refusing to heed the call of his people for help, as when Ilmatar, the daughter of the air, vainly invoked him to her aid, that Wainamoinen, already 700 years unborn, might be delivered. So also Wainamoinen besieges Ukko in the vain to check the crimson streamlet flowing from his knee, wounded by an axe in the hands of Hiisi. Ukko, however, with all his power, is by no means superior to the sun, moon, and other bodies dwelling in the heavens. They are uninfluenced by him and are considered deities in their own right. Thus, Beive means both sun and sun god. Päivä, I think this should be. Because here, a common greeting, if you meet someone, you say päivä, which means day. Päivä. Päivä means both sun and sun god. Kun means moon and moon god. Yeah, this sounds a bit strange. Kuu. It should be probably kuu. Let me write it for you. Kuu. It's like two U's in a row. Here it says kun. It could be that's the correct writing thing because, the Kalevala is a very big thing. I think it could be very well compared to the Bible. But anyway, and Tahti is a star. Tahti and Ottawa designate the polar star and the Great Bear respectively, as well as the deities of those bodies. The sun and the moon have each a consort and sons and daughters. Two sons only of Päivä appear in the Kalevala. One comes to aid Wainamoinen in his efforts to destroy the mystic firefish by throwing from the heavens to the girdle of the hero a magic knife, silver edged and golden handled. The other son, Panu, the fire child, brings back to Kalevala the fire that had been stolen by Louhi. I think Louhi is the planet Venus, the wicked hostess of Pohjola. Pohjola, Pohjoinen means north. From this myth, Castrin argues that the ancient Finns regarded fire as a direct emanation from the sun. A direct emanation from the sun. Do we talk possibly about auroras touching the ground? There are charged particles from the sun. Yeah, I haven't read that far today, and I don't have any script, so it's freestyle as always. The daughters of the sun, moon, great bear, polar star, and of the other heavenly dignitaries are represented as ever young and beautiful maidens, sometimes seated on the bending branches of the forest trees, sometimes on the crimson rims of the clouds, sometimes on the rainbow, sometimes on the dome of heaven. These daughters are believed to be skilled to perfection in the arts of spinning and weaving. The perfection of spinning and weaving. We could probably take into consideration Birkeland currents because they are spinning and also weaving, twisting filaments. Accomplishments probably attributed to them from the fanciful likeness of the rays of light to the wrap of the weaver's web. Anyway, the sun's career of usefulness and beneficence in bringing light and life to Northland is seldom varied. Yeah, fluctuations, natural cycles. Occasionally he steps from his accustomed path to give important information to his suffering worshippers. You know, energy is information, information is energy. Suffering worshippers, people don't have food to eat. It's coming back around again. This is for the people of the sun. That's, I think, a rather straight quote from a song from Rage Against the Machine, People of the Sun. But anyway, for example, when the star and the moon refuse the information, the sun tells the virgin Marietta where her golden infant lies bidden. Refuse the information. Do we talk about planetary-sized discharge events? Yonder is thy golden infant. Yonder is thy golden infant. There thy holy babe lies sleeping, hidden to his belt in water, hidden in the reeds and rushes. Again, when the devoted mother of the reckless hero Lemminkainen chopped the pieces by the sons of Nanna, as in the myth of Osiris, he was raking to gather the fragments of his body from the river Tuijoi, and fearing that the sprites of the death stream might resent her intrusion. Sprites? Elves? You know, those things which appear sometimes over big thunderclouds? The death stream. But anyway, the sun, in answer to her entreaties, probably, throws his powerful rays upon the dreaded shades, fragments and sinks them into a deep sleep. Instant petrification? Peter Mangochap has very much to say about instant petrification, about electricity and how electricity can basically instantly petrify things. It could be rock, it could be a living being. While the mother gathers up the fragments of her son's body in safety. So, for many years when I have been reading this kind of text, I just always have been so disgusted by this violence and stuff like that. Nowadays, I know that they are not talking about actual people. They are talking about events which happened in the sky. They're talking about planetary bodies and stuff like that. So, the gathers up the fragments of her son's body in safety, which could be some moon around a planet, which is the sun, which is the sun of which, like she's carrying the fragments. The sun is the moon. Well, anyway, this rune of the Kalevala is particularly interesting as showing the belief that the dead can be destroyed to life through the blissful light of heaven. Yeah. Yeah, let's just... No. We don't continue because this could be, once again, a very long video. And it might be annoying to some people for me just throwing in comments or some thoughts or some things or whatsoever just by reading that, which comes to my mind, which could be related to that or a different perspective to interpret or understand or trying to understand what they are telling us. And here earlier, they say the Kalevala. There is no mention of whatever Germans, Russians, Swedes, or whatsoever, which indicates that it's about 3,000 years old at least. Which is very old. And I still try to find something, some information base where, for example, Immanuel Velikovsky probably identified some of the archetypes of the Kalevala and made his associations to possible planetary bodies or events which happened between planetary bodies or something like this. I probably could do it by myself too. It just would take so long time and I have so many other things which are very interesting, so I probably won't make a deep dive into the Kalevala despite it being really interesting. Like, really interesting. But anyway, now just to make you forget my little monologue here about my monologue here, let's just read still a few lines and I will end the video by this then. Among the other deities of the air are the Luonnotars. Luonto is not nature translated. If you are talking about nature here, you are talking about Luonnotars. Well, anyway, mystic maidens, 3 of whom were created by the rubbing of Ukko's hands upon his left knee. Again, they are not talking about people. They are not talking about some dude's knee, you know. These were plasma instabilities which were in the sky. So rubbing his left knee, we have to assume probably that something on the western side of the plasma instabilities in the sky, something happened. They forthwith walk the crimson borders of the clouds, and one sprinkles with milk, one sprinkles red milk, and the third sprinkles black milk over the hills and mountains. Thus they become the mothers of iron. The red milk, if you heat sulfur about a little bit more than 200 degrees, it turns blood red. And one of the three daughters sprinkles red milk. It was raining blood in some stories. Here it is, red milk. But anyway, I really appreciate if you are one of those who were listening till the end. Because I don't really have a concept what I do, how I do it, it just happens. And I just try to go with the flow. Thank you. Bye.